The deep silence of space was broken by the soft hum of sensors aboard the alien warship Valkyr, cruising near the outer edge of the Galactic Empire's territory. Commander Jack Miller stood on the bridge, his eyes fixed on the glowing screen. In front of him, an unusual signal had appeared, something that should not have been there. A strange energy signature moving slowly toward their sector. The alien officers exchanged worried looks, but Jack kept calm, ordering his crew to scan. The signal with full power, the ship's sensors picked up an enormous shape cloaked in faint light. A human warship unlike any they had seen before, sleek but clearly built for battle, its hull shining with unknown metals that seemed to absorb the light around it, and weapons glowing softly in the dim space. Captain Claire Evans stood inside her ship's command room, watching the scans from their advanced control panel. Her face calm but determined, her crew busy around her. Knowing this mission was dangerous but also important, humans had sent their warship into uncharted space to find new worlds and protect their people. And now they were close to the Empire's borders. The Galactic Empire had long thought humans were weak and slow to advance, their weapons crude and their ships small. But this new ship was different. It carried technology that could change the balance of power in the galaxy. Claire knew this and felt the weight of her responsibility. She had to show the Empire that humans were not to be ignored. Back on the Valkyr, Jack ordered a closer approach, his ship moving carefully toward the human vessel. Sensors picking up strange energy readings, the ship seemed to be alive in some way, changing its shape slightly as if adjusting itself for battle or defense. The aliens were confused and alert. Suddenly, a message came through from the human ship, clear and calm. This is Captain Claire Evans of the United Earth Defense Fleet. You have entered human-explored space. State your purpose. The voice was steady and firm, full of confidence. Jack replied, "This is Commander Jack Miller of the Galactic Empire. Your presence here is not authorized. Identify yourself." His voice held authority, but also curiosity. Claire answered, "We come in peace but prepared for defense. Our mission is to explore and protect. We will not back down from any attack. But we do not wish to fight unless necessary." The alien officers whispered among themselves, surprised by the boldness of the humans. They had expected fear or submission, but instead, they heard strength and pride, and that changed everything. Jack ordered a full report to be sent to the Empire's high command, warning them of this unexpected human warship, a ship that could challenge their fleets and possibly break their control over the borders. Meanwhile, Claire's engineers worked to keep their ship ready, adjusting shields and weapons. The hum of the quantum fusion reactor powering the ship was strong and steady, giving them energy beyond what the aliens could imagine. David Morgan, the lead engineer, explained to Claire, "This reactor gives us power for long missions without refueling. It is stable and strong, unlike the older designs other species use." Claire nodded, proud of her crew and their technology. "We will show the Empire what humans can do," she said softly. The aliens prepared their fleet for a possible battle, sending out smaller ships to scout the human warship. But each time they came close, the humans used advanced cloaking and fast maneuvers to avoid detection. The aliens became more frustrated and afraid. In the quiet halls of the human ship, pilot Lavra Adams trained with the flight simulators, preparing for any fight that might come, her hands steady on the controls, knowing that their survival depended on their skill and technology. Back on the Valkyr, Jack watched the stars outside, thinking of the stories the Empire had told about humans being weak. But now seeing the truth, he felt a new respect. And a warning, this was no ordinary opponent. The human warship moved deeper into the Empire's border, sending signals of exploration, but also warnings of strength. A message clear to all who watched: humans were ready to fight for their place in the stars. The human warship moved steadily through the dark space, its crew alert and ready for anything. Inside the ship, Captain Claire Evans studied the vast Map of stars and planets. Thinking about the journey ahead, they had passed many unknown systems. And the Galactic Empire was watching closely. On the other side, the alien leaders gathered in the command chamber of their main fleet. Admiral Vorin spoke with confidence. Humans are primitive, their technology is weak, and their ships are small. They cannot threaten our empire. But his voice carried a hint of doubt. The report from Commander Jack Miller had raised many questions. The alien scientists worked day and night to understand the strange human warship. They scanned the data sent by the Valkyr, analyzing the hull design, the energy signatures, and the weapons systems, but nothing matched their known technology. The humans seemed to have developed something new. Back on the human ship, David Morgan explained the power of their adaptive weapons to Claire. Our weapons can change their energy type depending on the enemy shields. This makes them very effective, he said with pride. It is one of the reasons we can fight better than many bigger fleets. Claire nodded. We must use every advantage we have. The Empire will not let us explore without a fight, she said, her eyes firm with determination. Meanwhile, Lavra Adams prepared for her next training flight, practicing quick turns and stealth moves. She knew the aliens would soon try to attack, and she had to be ready to protect the ship. The Galactic Empire sent a message to all their fleets, ordering them to stop the human warship, no matter the cost. The message was clear. Humans were a threat, and they must be stopped before they grew stronger. Alien ships began to gather, forming a large fleet near the border. The size and firepower were overwhelming compared to the single human ship, but the humans did not fear. They trusted in their technology and their skill. When the fleets met in the dark space, the aliens fired first, powerful energy blasts aimed at the human ship. But Claire gave orders to activate the adaptive shields. The ship's surface shimmered with a bright blue light, absorbing the attacks and turning the energy into power for their own weapons. David shouted from the control room. The shields are holding, but the enemy is strong, he warned. We must strike back now. Claire smiled. Prepare the adaptive weapons. Target the enemy's command ships. She ordered calmly. Laura flew her fighter craft out of the ship, moving quickly among the enemy vessels, firing precise shots that disabled their weapons and engines. The small human ships were fast and hard to hit. Alien Captain Yarek watched in shock as his ships were damaged one by the human fighters. How can they be so quick and strong? He asked, unable to believe what he saw. Back on the human ship, the Starbreaker cannon was ready. Claire gave the order to fire. A huge beam of energy shot out, cutting through the enemy's strongest shields and causing panic among their fleet. Admiral Vorin called for retreat, knowing that the humans were more powerful than anyone had guessed. The alien fleet pulled back, leaving the humans in control of the space near the border. Claire looked at the empty space where the enemy had been. This is only the beginning, she said quietly. We will show the Empire that humans are not weak. The aliens began to send spies and scouts to learn more about the humans and their warship. But the humans were ready. Their own intelligence officers detected many of the spies and caught them before they could learn too much. Commander Ethan Scott led the human security forces, protecting the ship and its secrets. He worked closely with Claire to keep their mission safe. The Galactic Empire was shocked and angry. They had believed humans were easy to defeat, but now the truth was clear. Humans had grown stronger, smarter, and more dangerous. Claire stood on the bridge, looking at the stars ahead, feeling a mix of pride and worry. She knew the road ahead would be hard, but she also knew that humans had something special, the will to fight and the power to win. The battle had ended, but the tension in space remained high. The alien fleet was shaken, their commanders whispering about the strange human warship and its unexpected power. Commander Jack Miller stood on the bridge of the Valkyr, watching the distant stars with a mix of respect and worry. The humans were not what the Empire had thought. They were something new and dangerous. Inside the human warship, Captain Claire Evans and her crew moved quickly, repairing damage and preparing for the next challenge. David Morgan worked closely with his team to improve the adaptive shields, making them stronger and faster to respond to enemy fire. The hum of the quantum fusion reactor was steady, a reminder of the power they held. Pilot Lavra Adams was ready for another flight, practicing her maneuvers and stealth techniques in the simulator. Her hands steady on the controls, she knew the next battle could come at any moment, and she wanted to be ready to protect her crew and ship. Alien scientists studied the data from the battle, trying to find a weakness in the human technology. They had never seen weapons that could change so fast or shields that could absorb so much energy. Their own ships felt slow and old compared to the humans' fast and smart warship. Captain Claire gathered her officers in the command room. "We cannot let the Empire recover and build a bigger fleet," she said, her voice steady. "We must strike first and show them that humans are not afraid." Commander Ethan Scott nodded. "Our spies tell us the Empire is building new warships, but they are not ready yet," he said. "If we attack now, we have the advantage," Claire agreed. "Prepare the Starbreaker cannon and ready all fighters." "We move at first light," she ordered, determination in her eyes. The humans moved quietly through space, approaching the Empire's shipyards hidden behind an asteroid belt, their ships blending into the darkness, ready to strike before the enemy could prepare. Suddenly, alarms sounded. Alien patrol ships detected the humans and rushed to defend. The shipyards, Lavra and her team took off in their fighters. Weaving through laser fire and explosions, they fought with skill and speed, disabling the enemy ships one by one. On the ground, human commandos led by Sergeant Mia Collins landed near the shipyard. Their mission was to sabotage the Empire's new warship production. The soldiers moved carefully through the dark tunnels, planting explosives and hacking enemy systems. Back in space, Claire watched the battle unfold on the screens, her heart steady but alert. "Keep pressure on their defenses," she said. "We cannot let them rebuild." The Starbreaker cannon charged, a low hum growing louder. When it fired, a huge beam of energy swept through the shipyard, destroying key production facilities and stopping the building of new warships. Admiral Voran was furious. "How can humans be so strong and so bold?" he shouted, his voice full of rage and fear. "We must find a way to stop them, no matter the cost." But the humans were already retreating. Their mission successful, they returned to their warship, proud of their victory, but knowing this was only the start of a long war. Captain Claire stood on the bridge, looking at the stars. "The Empire will not give up," she said, "but neither will we." The Galactic Empire began to prepare for a full-scale war, building new fleets and sending more spies. But the humans had changed the game. They had shown the galaxy that humans could fight and win against the greatest powers. In the quiet moments, Claire thought about the future, about the worlds they would protect and the battles they would fight. She felt the weight of her duty, but also the hope of a new dawn for humanity. The quiet hum of the human warship filled the space as Captain Claire Evans stood on the bridge, her eyes fixed on the starry darkness outside. Inside the ship, the crew worked steadily, repairing systems and preparing for whatever the Galactic Empire might send next. David Morgan moved between control panels, checking the power levels of their quantum fusion reactor. Proud of the ship's strength and endurance, Alien scientists in the Empire's labs worked tirelessly, studying every piece of data they could get from the human ship. Their leader, Dr. Kellen, shook his head in frustration. "Their technology is unlike anything we have seen before," he said. "Their reactor is stable and powerful, their weapons adapt in real time, and their shields are nearly impossible to break." Back on the human warship, Claire met with her officers in the command room. "We have one chance to keep our advantage," she said. "The Empire is growing stronger, but they are not ready for a full fight yet." Commander Ethan Scott nodded. "Our spies report the Empire is trying to build warships faster, but they're Designs are old, and they lack our new technology, he said. If we can disrupt their supply lines, we slow them down, Claire agreed. We will strike at their supply stations and resource planets, cut off their materials and starships, before they can be built, she said, determination in her voice. Meanwhile, the alien fleet prepared for battle. Admiral Vorin ordered his captains to increase patrols near key systems and to watch for any signs of human attacks. The Empire could not afford another surprise strike. The humans moved quickly and quietly, using stealth technology to hide their movements. Lavra Adams led her fighter squadron on several missions to disable enemy supply ships. Their speed and precision amazed even their own commanders. In one attack, the human fighters flew through an asteroid field, avoiding enemy fire and reaching a supply convoy. They struck fast and hard, destroying the convoy's engines and weapons, leaving the enemy ships drifting and useless on the ground. Sergeant Mia Collins and her team landed on a resource-rich planet. Their mission was to sabotage the mining operations that provided metals for the Empire's warships. They moved through dark tunnels, placing charges and hacking the control systems. Their work was dangerous but vital. Back on the human warship, Claire watched the progress reports. Each mission was a success, but the Empire was not idle. They were repairing damaged fleets and sending new ships to defend their supply lines. Admiral Vorin was growing angry. These humans are clever and strong, he said. We must change our strategy and build better ships. Faster, Dr. Kellen warned. Our old designs will not beat the human warship. We must learn from their technology, but the Empire's leaders were slow to accept new ideas, fearing change. Claire met with David Morgan. Can we improve our ship even more? She asked, hoping for new ideas. David smiled. We are working on a new energy grid that will let us power weapons and shields at the same time without losing strength. It will make us even harder to defeat, he said. The humans also trained harder, knowing that the next battles would be tougher. Lavra practiced flying in dangerous conditions, learning to react faster and make better decisions. Her fighters became faster and smarter with every mission. As the war grew closer, Claire gathered her crew. We fight not just for survival but for our future, she said. The Galactic Empire will not accept us easily, but we will stand strong and fight for what is ours. The Galactic Empire watched carefully, realizing that humans were no longer just a minor threat. They were a growing power with new technology and strong will. The Empire began to rethink its plans, knowing that the next war could change the galaxy forever. Claire looked out at the stars, ready for whatever came next. The human warship was more than a machine. It was a symbol of hope, strength, and the fight for a new future among the stars. The human warship moved silently through space, its crew tense but focused on their mission. Captain Claire Evans stood on the bridge, watching the stars pass by. She knew the Galactic Empire was planning something big, and they had to be ready inside the ship. Commander Ethan Scott gathered the security team. The Empire is sending spies and saboteurs to learn our secrets, he said. We must stop them before they cause damage. Sergeant Mia Collins led a team of soldiers on patrol through the ship's lower decks, their eyes sharp for any signs of enemy agents. The crew had trained hard to protect their home and their technology. They were ready for any threat. Meanwhile, the Empire's spy, Lyra Koss, moved carefully through the shadows of a distant moon. Her mission was to find the human shipyard and discover their secrets. She carried advanced devices to hack and gather information, but the humans were cautious. Commander Ethan's team detected strange signals coming from the moon and quickly prepared to intercept. They won't get away with spying on us, he said, setting a plan into motion. Back on the human warship, Claire and her officers worked on strategies to protect their technology and keep their mission alive. David Morgan studied new ways to secure their data and prevent enemy hacks. We must be smarter than them, he said, or we will lose everything. The humans launched their own spies and counter-espionage agents to track and stop the Empire's spies. It was a dangerous game of cat and mouse, each side trying to outsmart the other in the dark reaches of space. Lavra Adams flew her fighter through space on a special mission, hunting down alien scout ships sent to find the human warship. Her skill and quick thinking helped keep the ship safe. She moved like a shadow, fast and silent, on the moon. Lyra Koss was close to discovering a hidden human base, but Sergeant Mia and her team were waiting. A silent battle began in the dark tunnels. The humans used their training and weapons to stop the intruders without raising alarm. Claire watched the reports and smiled. "Our crew is strong and smart," she said. "We will protect our secrets and keep fighting." The Galactic Empire grew frustrated. Their spies were caught or lost, and their new ships were still not ready to face the human warship. Admiral Voran ordered his captains to be more careful, but also more aggressive. "We cannot wait any longer," he said. "The humans must be stopped." The humans knew a bigger fight was coming. They prepared their ships and weapons, training their crews to be ready for battle. The Starbreaker cannon was tested again, its powerful energy beam cutting through targets with ease. Captain Claire gathered her officers. "The Empire will attack soon," she said. "We must be ready to defend ourselves and strike back harder than before." The humans sent out fighter squads to patrol the borders, watching for enemy fleets. Lara led many of these missions, her skill growing with each flight. Her team trusted her completely. In a sudden strike, the Empire sent a fleet to attack a human supply station. The battle was fierce, but the humans used their speed, tactics, and new technology to defend the station. The enemy ships were destroyed or forced to retreat. The victory was a boost to human morale. Claire knew the war was far from over, but they had shown the Empire that humans were not easy to defeat. The stars around them seemed brighter, and Claire felt a new hope. The human warship was more than just a machine. It was a symbol of humanity's courage and will to survive. The hum of the human warship filled the vast silence of space. Captain Claire Evans stood on the bridge, her eyes steady and calm. Inside the ship, the crew prepared for what might come next. Their weapons were ready, their shields strong, and their spirits high. David Morgan worked in the engine room, fine-tuning the quantum fusion reactor. He knew this power source was the heart of their strength. It gave them energy beyond what most ships could dream of. But it was also delicate and needed care. "We must keep it stable," he told his team, "or everything could fail." The Galactic Empire was not waiting. Their leaders planned a new weapon to face the humans. Admiral Voran discussed with his scientists about a device called the disruptor wave, meant to break the human shields and disable their weapons from far away. The hope was to end the war quickly. On the human warship, Claire met with her officers. "We have to be ready for anything," she said. "If the Empire uses this new weapon, we must find a way to stop it." Commander Ethan Scott added, "Our scouts report that the disruptor wave project is still in testing, but it could be ready soon. We have to act fast." Claire nodded. "Prepare the Starbreaker cannon and all fighters. We may need to strike their labs before they finish," she ordered, her voice firm with resolve. Lavra Adams led a squadron of fighters on a stealth mission to locate the secret laboratory where the Empire was building the disruptor wave. Her team flew through asteroid fields and dark space, avoiding patrols and enemy sensors. When they reached the target, they found a heavily guarded station. Alien ships and turrets surrounded it, but the humans had surprise and technology on their side. Lavra directed her pilots in fast and precise attacks, disabling the defenses and clearing the way for the main ship to fire. The Starbreaker cannon charged. Its powerful energy beam blasted through the station, destroying the laboratory and halting the disruptor wave project. The explosion lit up the dark space, sending debris flying in all directions. Back on the alien fleet, Admiral Voran was furious. "These humans are a greater threat than we imagined," he growled. "We must build faster and fight harder." But the humans were already preparing for the next step. David Morgan and his engineers worked on a new energy grid to improve shields and weapons at the same time. Claire knew this would give them an edge in battle, in training rooms and simulators. Pilots like Lovra practiced new tactics and emergency responses. The crew grew stronger and closer as they prepared for war. The Galactic Empire was learning that humans were more than just soldiers and engineers. They were fighters with heart and hope, something the Empire had forgotten in its long reign. One day, the human warship received a message from the Empire, a challenge for battle. Admiral Voran demanded a fight to decide the fate of the border. Systems, the humans accepted, knowing this battle could change everything. Claire stood on the bridge, looking at her crew. "We fight for our future and for all humans," she said. "Let's show the Empire our strength." The warship moved to the battle zone, its weapons ready, shields glowing, and engines strong. The fighters took their positions, ready to defend and attack. As the two fleets met, the space around them filled with laser fire and explosions. The humans used their new energy grid to keep their shields strong while firing powerful weapons. The aliens struggled to keep up. Lovra flew her fighter through the chaos, protecting her comrades and striking enemy ships. Her skill and courage inspired the whole crew. The Starbreaker cannon fired multiple times, breaking enemy shields and turning the tide of battle. The Empire's fleet was pushed back, their ships damaged and retreating after the battle. Claire looked at the stars with pride. "This is just the beginning," she said. "We will keep fighting and winning." The human warship sailed on, a beacon of hope and power in the dark space, ready for whatever challenges lay ahead. The stars stretched endlessly outside the human warship as Captain Claire Evans stood quietly on the bridge, her thoughts deep but her spirit strong. The recent battles had tested them, but they had survived. And now a new challenge was coming. Galactic Empire faced problems of its own. A rogue faction had broken away from the main fleet, their ships attacked without warning, threatening both human and Empire worlds. Admiral Voran was furious but also concerned. This new enemy was dangerous and unpredictable. Claire received a message from the Empire offering a temporary alliance against the rogue faction. The offer was unexpected, but the danger was real. "We cannot fight on two fronts," she said to her officers. "We must work with the Empire for now," Commander Ethan Scott agreed. "This is a chance to show we can be more than enemies." He said, "But we must be careful." The humans and aliens planned a joint operation, combining the strength of the Empire's fleets with the humans' advanced technology and tactics. It was a new and uneasy partnership, but both sides knew it was necessary. Lovra Adams led a squadron of fighters alongside alien pilots, their skills blending as they flew in formation, fighting the rogue faction's ships with fierce determination. Their teamwork grew with every battle on the human warship. Engineers worked to create communication systems that could connect both fleets, allowing better coordination and strategy, David Morgan explained. "If we can talk and share data fast, we can beat the enemy together." The rogue faction struck hard, attacking the key planet that supplied resources to both humans and aliens. The joint fleets rushed to defend it. The battle was fierce, with lasers and missiles filling the skies and space above. Claire and Admiral Voran worked side by side, their orders clear and united. The humans used their Starbreaker cannon to break through enemy defenses while the Empire's ships surrounded and trapped the attackers. Lovra flew close to the enemy ships, dodging fire and striking weak points, her skills saving many human and alien pilots from destruction. She felt proud to fight with new allies on the ground. Sergeant Mia Collins led a team to defend the planet's surface from enemy raids. The soldiers fought bravely, holding their lines and protecting civilians, their courage inspiring all who saw them. The battle ended in victory for the Alliance. The rogue faction's forces scattered and weakened, but the war was not over. Both humans and aliens knew they had to stay united to face future threats. After the fight, Claire and Voran met in a quiet room aboard the human warship. This Alliance is fragile but important, Claire said. We must build trust if we want peace. Voron nodded. Humans are stronger than I thought, but together we can face anything, he replied, respect in his voice. The crews of both fleets began to share stories and ideas, learning from each other's cultures and experiences. Old enemies started to see the value in friendship and cooperation. Claire looked out at the stars once more, hope growing in her heart. The galaxy was changing. And humans were now a part of its future, not just as fighters, but as partners and leaders. The human warship sailed calmly through the endless stars, its crew tired but proud. Captain Claire Evans stood on the bridge, her eyes filled with hope and determination. The long fight had changed many things, but now a new chapter was beginning. The Galactic Empire officially recognized humans as a strong and important power. A place was made for them in the Galactic Council, a group of leaders from many worlds, who decided the future of the galaxy. Claire knew this was a great honor and a heavy responsibility. Inside the ship, David Morgan worked with alien engineers, sharing ideas and learning new ways to improve their ships and technology. This cooperation was new but promising. It showed that even old enemies could work together for a better future. Lavra Adams flew her fighter in training missions alongside alien pilots, their skills blending in ways no one had expected. They laughed and learned from each other, breaking down old barriers with friendship and respect. Commander Ethan Scott and Sergeant Mia Collins led joint security teams, protecting the new alliance from threats and dangers. They knew challenges would come, but they were ready to face them as one. Captain Claire looked at the stars and thought about the journey from the first meeting with the Galactic Empire to this day. The human warship had become more than just a machine. It was a symbol of hope, courage, and the power of unity. The galaxy was wide and full of mysteries, and humans were ready to explore, learn, and protect new worlds. They had proven they could survive and grow even in the darkest places. In the halls of the Galactic Council, humans spoke with new voices and ideas, pushing for peace, fairness, and progress. Their experience in battle had taught them the value of friendship and cooperation. Admiral Varin and other former enemies now worked alongside humans, finding common ground and shared goals. The future was uncertain, but bright with possibilities. Claire smiled as she watched her crew, knowing they had fought hard to reach this point. But the real journey was only beginning. The stars called to them, full of promise and adventure. The human warship moved forward, ready to face whatever the galaxy held. Together, humans and aliens stood strong. A new dawn for all had arrived.